90-Day Fiancé. Rob's asking for advice about his sick son after Sophie Sierra split assigns he's trying to fix his reputation, while Sophie talks about moving to England. Rob Warren, a star of 90-Day, The Last Resort, is asking for help from fans because his son is in a sad predicament that could end in death. The first time Rob from Los Angeles appeared on 90-Day Fiancé was in Season 10. Before Sophie, Rob's British partner, arrived in the United States on a K-1 visa, he had cheated on her. Sophie should have ended the relationship after Rob betrayed her, but she continued to give him many chances and even married him, despite the fact that fresh evidence of Rob's online cheating kept coming to light. Sophie left during Happily Ever After? But The Last Resort gave them the opportunity to make amends. Rob began to receive negative feedback from viewers because of how he treated Sophie, but for some reason, Sophie's juvenile behavior did not help her either. Rob's assertions that he had changed and improved his behavior were not enough to convince others that he had left his dubious background behind. Sophie was always there to remind viewers of what he had done. Rob has been asking supporters for forgiveness lately. There are rumors that Rob has taped a new show with a 90-day house concept in which he has found love with a co-star. Rob asked for help with his sick son. On the episode, Rob appears to be a person who is quite emotional. He wears his heart on his sleeve and isn't scared of speaking his mind when he needs anything, even if it is attention from his wife. Rob wanted Sophie to return to him on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, and appeared to have lost hope for The Last Resort. On the other hand, Rob has someone who has always been there for him, no matter what, and he won't have to plead with this person to get their attention. Rob has an extremely close bond with his dog, Rome, who is more than just a son to him. Rob posted a video of his dog Rome in January 2024. He said that his old boy required additional attention, which is why they were back at the veterinarian's office. Rob also mentioned that he needed prayers from his supporters in order for the tests to go smoothly. Fans hoped for Rome's recovery. They had been familiar with Rome since his first appearance on Season 10 of 90-Day Fiancé, when he was with Rob and Sophie. When the couple moved to Houston in Happily Ever After, Rome accompanied them along with Rob's collection of pet tarantulas. On the other hand, Rob's dog was not seen at all this time. While they were filming, Rob stated that they had to move Rome to a different room in the house. There were a lot of people in the home, which made Rome feel anxious. After the tests, Rob discovered that Rome has lymphoma via 90-Day Fiancé update. Rome had a lesion, a growth on his lips, but further testing were needed to determine whether he had epitheliotropic lymphoma, a type of skin cancer that affects dogs. Rome is an elderly dog, and Rob explained that T-cell lymphoma normally occurs in 8 to 10-year-olds. It appears that Rome has anywhere from 8 months to 1.5 years left to live. Sophie has not made any formal announcements on social media regarding her breakup with Rob, despite the fact that there have been speculations that the two had ended their relationship for good. Sophie, on the other hand, speaks in riddles and has recently made some surprising accusations against her husband. Sophie has placed comments on the page of 90-Day Fiancé Alexa, which includes screenshots that say that Rob was abusive, according to her. She made these comments after admirers asked her why she constantly blamed Rob for their problems. She advised one follower to keep supporting a narcissistic abuser, and she informed another follower that Rob was abusive, although it was not aired on television. Continue to support someone who mistreats others. Sophie claimed that she had always possessed a green card, and that she did not need to be with Rob in order to obtain one. She says that she has proof to back up her statements. On the other hand, there are some supporters of Sophie who believe that Rob's good guy persona is really a performance for the cameras. He became aware of how awful he appeared in Season 10 due to his infidelity scandals and for yelling at Sophie for asking for a restroom or a quilt, and he changed his behavior. Rob appeared to be trying to preserve their relationship, but he also seemed to be angry. Sophie is unable to provide the specifics due to her non-disclosure agreement. Sophie was always indecisive about whether she wanted to stay with Rob or go on. She seemed to have one foot in and one foot out of the relationship. That would explain why there have been no press headlines about Rob and Sophie being married. After the last resort, they may have remained together in order to give their marriage another opportunity. Sophie says that she is not with Rob for the green card, but she did reveal on Happily Ever After that she was not going to let him go because that would mean she would have to leave her new life in America behind. On the other hand, Sophie has matured over the previous year because she is planning to move to London in the future. Sophie recently conducted a TikTok live where she claimed that if she were to have children, she would want to return to her hometown. She thinks that raising children there would be cheaper because healthcare in London is free, and she believes that living there would be better for her as a mother in general. Sophie's remarks suggested that she was not in a relationship. She is no longer obligated to live with Rob in the United States. Rob is still trying to defend himself on social media, even though there is a he said, she said situation going on. Sophie and Rob continued pointing fingers at each other. Rob has been defending himself against the charges of emotional abuse, but says he is unable to do so since Sophie led him on and made him feel walked on and used. He is claiming that Sophie is teaming up against him so that she can make fun of him and talk badly about him with her admirers who support her. Rob, on the other hand, has discovered a method for attracting positive attention from admirers. Rob's pet is in a life-threatening scenario, but everything has worked out to Rob's advantage. It provides a diversion from his ongoing tale with Sophie on 90 Day, The Last Resort. Rob will inform them of the expenses associated with the extra examinations that are needed for Rome. It seems that he thinks his supporters should pay the expenses. Sophie says that Rob is an unemotional person, yet his vulnerable message has already touched people's hearts, so it doesn't seem like that's true. It is impossible to know which side supporters will choose in the end, but for the time being, Rob appears to be the person whom fans have faith in.